Hey everybody out there, Chris and Mike here, and welcome back to another Dark Avenger Comic Book review. In this episode, we are reviewing books that were released from Marvel Comics on June 11th, 2014. That felt very robotic, but anyway.
Are you a robot? No, you're human. Continue.
Nightcrawler, issue number 3.
Wow, I missed that.
I don't know how I feel about this series. You know, I like the beginning, but now I feel like the story's kind of like, I don't want to say I don't care, but at the same time it's not holding me like a story. Like, the character, I love Nightcrawler, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed reading Nightcrawler, but the story itself kind of is falling apart. I mean, Nightcrawler gets attacked again by these machines. I forgot what they were called already because they're just not important. Trimegas. There's 3 of them this time, and his friends help him out, but they end up getting knocked out by what's her name?
Kitty? No, not Kitty Pryde. Wow. Wrong book.
Margali, Cesardos, whatever. And in the end, Nightcrawler, Amanda, and Margali end up going back to the Jean Grey School for protection. Everything looks fine, and then all of a sudden everything kind of flips around. Logan and Nightcrawler, this was the best part of the book, where Logan and Nightcrawler are sitting there having that heart-to-heart talk.
Yeah, they're really
those
good
moments are good
together.
I'm really getting annoyed with that scar down Wolverine's face, but we all know the death of Wolverine is 2-to-1 going to bring back Wolverine to the healing factor. Maybe he'll have less memories. We don't know.
Had that
but something's going on with Amanda, and something really dark is going on with Margali. She basically takes something from Storm and Beast and walks away with it, leaving Beast and Storm in a bad predicament. Amanda's sneaking around now. We don't know what she's doing. And then Trimega in army form attacks the Jean Grey School, and that's where it leaves off. I'm going to let the story arc play out, see where it goes from here, and then we'll see. We'll see where I go. I'll try the next issue for the second story arc. If I don't like it, maybe I'll drop it. I don't know. I just know that September is going to be a heavy month. We're already in June. There's 2 months to go before we get hit with the humongous month of September. September is going to be getting every single issue of 5 years later. Plus, there's going to be Marvel. Plus, there's the Death of Wolverine, which I'm not even sure I'm getting Death of Wolverine because it's so much money. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Next, we have Hulk issue number 4, the book that just keeps holding me by that little strand that makes me interested to see what happens next. So, Bruce Banner hulked out to save the Avengers. So, it's Hulk versus Abomination. Abomination is being controlled by somebody, we don't know whom. Avengers come to Hulk's rescue. However, when all is said and done, though, Bruce Banner kind of is in worse shape than he was before.
Oh, Daredevil.
One thing I didn't like about this book is they bring Iron Man and his brother Arno in, and basically they figure out how to cure Bruce Banner, sort of, and they're taking Arno's Extremis because he wants to perfect Extremis. This I only know because Jay was telling us this on the live show. He's reading Iron Man still. I'm not. So they put Extremis inside Bruce Banner's brain, and now all of a sudden he's okay. It basically cures him in less than 2 pages. Yeah. But now he might be even smarter than he was before. Like, it might reach even further out. He might be extremely more unpredictable because
Why
of
do
this.
I have a funny feeling there's going to be a side effect to that?
I don't know, but the next issue is all about Original Sin.
I have a funny feeling it's going to be a side effect to that whole...
I don't know, but it's leading into Original Sin, the next issue. The one thing that I'm kind of about is I thought that obviously they had to rush through this because they wanted to connect this to Original Sin, but there was a whole second story arc you could have done with the fight the fight for the brain of Bruce Banner, or to recover Bruce Banner's brain. There was a whole second story arc that could have gone with this, and I feel like they just threw Iron Man and Arno in, and they cured it like that. I thought it would have been cool if you would have thrown in all the other big brains in Marvel to try to figure out how to save Bruce Banner, as a second story arc, but instead they kind of went the fast way, so this way they could do Original Sin like this on Hulk, which is the next issue is going to connect to Original Sin. Speaking of which, this is yours. Yeah. I don't know, I'm going to hold on to Hulk obviously because it's connecting to Original Sin, but I heard Mark Waid is leaving after that, so I'm probably leaving the book as well.
Alright, Deadpool number 30 of Original Sin. And just like before, for like 1 or 2 pages, it just deals with relating to Original Sin, where then it goes off to something else. Like basically this page right here.
What happened to the artwork? The artwork definitely went
I don't know either. The artwork... No, actually, the artwork has been a little bit okay as it was in the past, really. But,
well, Deadpool's
well, yeah, but basically...
the page didn't look good.
Yeah. So basically, it's where Deadpool goes back to the past to talk with Dazzler, you know, making her believe that she is a vampire slayer and all that, and you know, he does you know, tests her a little bit, and his wife comes in, Shackley, or I don't know how you say her name, and basically leaves them to help him out. And then there's this whole thing in Chicago, Illinois, where that woman is looking for the file of like Utler, because apparently Deadpool has a daughter, and she wants to look for her. And then there's a whole vampire thing that happens where Dazzler became the Vampire Slayer a little bit earlier than she should, and she just takes them out one by one with Afro Deadpool in it. And I like his the whole thing of his whatchamacallit, comedy that he does. So then in Illinois, Emily Preston, her name is, finds out Eleanor, who is Deadpool's daughter, and we don't know what she looks like until the next issue, to be continued. So I'm gonna maybe try the next one.
Well, I know you're finishing Original Sin off.
Well, yeah, I'm finishing Original Sin, but after this, guys, I really don't know if I could say, because it's kind of dwindling a little bit, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, so that's what I think. And going to this one, which is connected to Original Sin, All New Invaders, issue number 6, where we're going to find out more of what's happening. So we get introduced to this new character, Ryoko, and basically she's talking with Mr. Silver about like the whole thing of like what's going on in the city and something like that. She talks more about Dazzler. Ironically, she's talked about in this issue, where she doesn't really get along with her. Artwork looks really nice in this comic book, and all that other stuff. So then we go to Agent Hammond, where he decided to join the All New Invaders thanks to him talking with Captain America, and they have a long conversation about you know, Namor and the whole thing of.
I like the costume.
Which one? Nick Fury's?
No.
Oh, his costume, Jim Hammond. Yeah, his costume looks pretty awesome. So then he talks with Derek Malloy, and they have like a huge conversation about theories and whatnot, which was kind of, you know, a little bit, it's like a long dialogue, and you can find out if you read this issue. Meanwhile, going to the origin of Ryoko, you know, how she became...
You end up in a lot of books with Chinese women that show up. Ryoko, and then Green Lantern, Green Arrow has,
Amiko.
Don't
forget Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
Why is it that they're in the book? Well, basically, they talk about her, how she became who she is today, and it's up to Jim Hammond.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's up to Jim Hammond to try to stop her from causing any more mayhem and stuff like that, and saying, you know, Jim, you had the opportunity to stop that bomb that happened in Japan and all the other stuff, because she's doing this because of what happened in Japan, of that whole bomb thing that happened. So that's why she became the way she is. Then it goes into Namor back in World War II, of what he did and stuff like that, and there's just so much that happened at the end that I don't want to spoil, because...
Hey, wait, let me see that cover.
This one?
Very anime-esque cover. Interesting. Okay.
And if you want to find out more, you can definitely find out. I don't want to give too much away, though, because there's a lot of dialogue in here, but a really interesting origin of Ryoko, of how she became the way she is today.
Captain Marvel, issue number 4. So the Spartax army, the Spartax government and Jason want these people off the, I forgot what they were called, they send the builders to destroy this planet, and Tick came. We all know the past story. I don't have to come. So anyway, Carol is now audience. It's like a hearing, and she's there to help. Most of the people don't say that she's not there to help. She's just nothing. She's not important. Then somebody else mentions about it's important that we, stay. There's this whole fight that breaks out in the court. But anyway, Carol actually has an idea where she could take everybody off the planet and find someplace else, I believe it was. There's no transport, but they don't want to leave. And then when she sees the fleet's basically a junkyard. But that's when they get attacked by these space pirates. But it turns out they're not there to steal anything. They're there to prevent things from getting to their planet. So Carol says, oh yeah? She jumps in her ship, takes her friends with her that she made, which there were a few, and she chases after. Then it turns out Jason is talking to the Madam President of the planet, and basically he says, I'm your god, yada yada. And basically, let's make a long story short here. The Madam President basically bends to what Jason wants, but what Jason wants is kind of ludicrous. This is all going to lead into, obviously, the event. I can't wait. Eventually, I see in a lot of the books, especially the space books, the world, it just lost me.
Which one?
The words lost me. The galactic books. The Spartax army is a humongous force for bad in the universe. Jason especially. I have a feeling in future story arcs, maybe not now, it might be a year from now, I feel like they're building up all these intergalactic books to push against the Spartax and especially Jason at some point. And this isn't just because of the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I just have a feeling that he's been a huge problem since a little bit after Age of Ultron during that, or a little bit further, during Infinity. So I don't know, but he's been a huge problem since then. I have a feeling that this is going to lead into something at some point, as far as maybe an event, maybe an Avenger event, maybe just a Galactic Book event. I don't know. But anyway, they get the stuff back from the Space Pirates, long story short, and then the book ends where the series began 4 issues back. So we've now caught up to where Carol is right now, and now we're going to continue forward from there. Really good stuff. I'm enjoying this series. Like I said, this is just solidifying the fact that I think that with all the books that are out there in space, it's going to lead into something with the Spartax army getting taken out at some point. I just feel that way. I know they've been this way for a while, but the way they keep throwing Jason in almost every single book, that not just Guardians, but also in now Avengers, he's been in Captain Marvel. I just feel like at some point something's gonna give, and it's gonna lead all the intergalactic people to him.
Yeah. I would suggest you to read this because Shang-Chi's in it. Wolverine issue number 8.
This is 3 months later. 3 months to die.
Right. And from what I've read in this issue, it seemed like here's where Iron Fist's in it too. Actually,
yes, Iron Fist is too.
And the artwork's really amazing.
That's why I recommended it, because I know it's 2 of your favorite characters.
Yeah, so basically, since I get to understand them more, and that's why I read it as well. So basically, he's just saying how he screwed up on a mission and all about Sabretooth, that he hesitated to kill him and all that.
Mm-hmm. And now Sabretooth's aiming to kill Logan.
Right.
And Logan's afraid of death.
Yeah, because of the whole thing of what's going on. So they go to the secret temple of Death on Holiday, where he gets to, go see more stuff that's happening there. And then Sabretooth's headquarters, he has the daughter, Annie.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot who her name was. Basically, he has her captive. And meanwhile...
they want a weapon from this woman. I forgot what was...
I think they wanted...
an artifact or a weapon. Yeah, a weapon.
Ownership of the weapon that she has, right. And then I don't know what his name is. Like he comes in and basically she tells him about Logan and stuff like that, and the Guardian of Spirits attack Logan, and he manages to get through all of them, basically because of
he's not there to fight. Yeah,
right, and he doesn't have that healing factor still because of that. So he's looking for someone who he loved a long time ago. And I don't like this part right here, the blue cube of how to work the cube because of the others that she didn't tell about. So that was pretty interesting. Meanwhile, there's just like so many other things that it goes into in this book.
Well, obviously it's going to culminate into what's going to lead into the death of Wolverine.
Right. But the guy actually, he goes to Sabretooth. And let's just say they're going to get along just fine, I guess. So that's not so good. And I like how where Shang-Chi says, I'm glad I had time to finish my tea. I was rather thirsty for all these
yeah, because Sabretooth says, let's get Logan killed once and for all. And that's where it's left off.
Yeah, so basically it was really interesting to find out more about Wolverine and stuff like that. So probably I'll review the next issue.
I'll be reading it too, yeah.
Oh, you'll be reading it too? Okay, so we'll both be reviewing that.
All New X-Men 28 with the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants from the future. We get more background story, how they figured out, how they found Beast, and how Charles Xavier Jr. saved or knocked, snapped Beast out of whatever he was in, and how they came to the plan of coming to the past. It was kind of funny, actually, how Reyes was talking about if we fail, we could send ourselves messages to the future to warn us about our failure. And as he says that, because the stuff in the present really just doesn't matter, in my opinion, he actually gets a letter from himself saying that they got their butts kicked and what to do differently so that they won't lose. And they travel back just far enough so that Reyes and his brother are born. So even if, like I said, if they fail, their past selves can send themselves messages from the future. Their future selves could send. This is what time travel does. Basically, they fail. They could send themselves messages into the future, where they'll tell themselves what they screwed up and how to fix it, and then it'll help them. I don't know. It's so hard.
It's a tongue twister there.
It's a crazy.
Stop hurting yourself.
I know, right? So if they fail, basically they leave themselves a note. They see it in the future and they fix it. So Reyes sent himself a letter and told him what they did wrong and how to fix it. And while back in the present, they're attacking the mutants, and Charles Xavier Jr. hates them all because basically his father died because of them, and his legacy was destroyed through them. Even the school, the Jean Grey School, wasn't named after him. When they reopened it, it was named after Jean Grey and not his father. So he's off Avengers. We find out that Beast is more of a puppet than he is actually doing this of his own free will from the future, Beast from the future. And Jean Grey actually exhibits powers that Charles Xavier Jr. hasn't seen, and he knows everything about Jean Grey, he claims. The ending I'm leaving off for you guys to check out, but things just don't look good for Charles Xavier Jr. by the end of this issue. Like I said, more of the past stuff is worth reading than the stuff that's going on in the present at this point, but I don't know. It more focused on the past than the present.
Okay. Book of the Week goes to Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, issue number 2. Shang-Chi finding out the answer to the death of... one
other thing that was revealed here I forgot to mention. They're doing this because they want to prevent the future or their future from happening because things get screwed up in the mutant timeline because of what Beast did.
Yeah. So he's finding answers about Liko Wu, and he goes to these people and he wants to find out more about where White Dragon is because Shang-Chi thinks that he's responsible for that. So he meets up with Skull Crusher. By the way, here's some artwork, which is drawn really amazing. Yeah, you would say yeah, I think it's amazing.
It's good artwork.
Yeah. So they have a talk with each other about how Liko Wu wasn't as he thinks she was. Like, she was basically an assassin, and that's what got her killed. So Shang-Chi's like saying, whatever, I don't believe you because I know who she was, and she's not the way I know that she is. So, Liko Wu, very nice. Shang-Chi is still trying to find out answers about where the White Dragon is, and he gets in a fight with Razor Fist, and he gets help along the way that are related to the White Dragon, Misty Knight and Cullen Wing, the daughters of the dragon, actually.
Oh, Misty Knight, she was for Heroes for Hire.
Oh, really? She was? Oh, I didn't know that. Because I knew she was familiar somewhere. So they help Shang-Chi fight the battle, and they just walk off. And then in the end, Shang-Chi, spoiler, if you haven't read this yet, I'm going to spoil it. He finds out, if I can get the book, where White Dragon is, and is looking for answers. To be continued in the next issue. Book of the week. Just, it's really heartfelt, and he's not really a person that is a killer, because if he hurts people, he doesn't want to really hurt them. That's what I like about that character, and I think he's a great role model for people.
With this book, I have to say it's nice to know that I can get Alex Ross's covers without having to pay $65, which I would never pay for a cover. Unlike with the Incredible Hulk, which I believe the next issue of Hulk, if you want Alex Ross's cover, it's about $65. This is cover price. Amazing Spider-Man, Learning to Crawl, issue number 1.2. I love the cover, and this is the debut of, Clash, who basically was inspired by Spider-Man. He's his biggest fan. He posted his first fight that went viral on the internet, etc., etc. And you get to see little story arcs that happened in Spider-Man's past. I love the artwork because it makes you feel like you're in the
classic,
past.
Yeah.
So
I was about to say
you've got when Pete went to the Fantastic Four to try to join them, and he left in a huff. You have oh, what was it? Then actually they show a little bit of Pete when he's in school, and he has to explain to the guidance counselor about his black eye, and it had happened during the Fantastic Four fight. He actually blames Flash without thinking, and then Flash swears he's going to get revenge on him. Clash is trying to get an audience with Spider-Man. He actually goes to Spider-Man's old agent, but he hasn't heard from Spider-Man in a while. There's the first meeting of chameleons going on in the background. Pete's trying to get money because Aunt May and him are broke, so he's trying to make money so he can help his aunt out. And finally he goes to his old manager's office, and his manager tells him about Clash and how he's willing to pay money up front. There's a reference to a check bouncing because it was in the name of Spider-Man, and nobody would cash a check under Spider-Man's name. So half the money was given to him up front, the other half was going to be given to him after his humongous fight with Clash. Turns out all he was thinking about was just getting it over with so he can get the money to Aunt May. And kind of he ends the fight early by web shooting Clash completely. And he takes the money and says, good, because it's going to take an hour for this to dissolve. And he's like, but I was supposed to win. And Spider-Man's like, yeah, you won. I'm running away scared. You're creepy. And Clash is super pissed off now because he basically, all of his dreams of his hero are bursted. Basically, he feels that Spider-Man's a fake and he's only in it for the money and for himself. And Pete starts to feel guilt immediately, like the next page. And he actually goes to the guidance counselor and says that he got his black eye a different way. It wasn't through Flash. And the guidance counselor says, how can anybody trust you if you're not going to tell the truth? He tells Aunt May, this guidance counselor is the biggest pain in the ass. I swear to you, this guidance counselor is annoying as hell. And he reaches out to Aunt May, and she goes to Pete's bedroom while he's not there, and we don't know what she sees, but we'll find out obviously in the next issue. But this guidance counselor is annoying as hell. I mean, I understand Pete's doing it for his aunt, but really he needs to stop seeing this guidance counselor because he can't tell him the truth, obviously. And obviously things go well for him, and Aunt May never finds out that he's Spider-Man, but I'm wondering what Aunt May saw in his bedroom now. But we're not going to find out, obviously, until next month.
Next month? I thought it was...
it's a monthly series. No.
Oh, wow.
I think even Amazing Spider-Man's only once a month right now, which is kind of sad.
crazy.
I think it should be. I think it is really twice.
So they
a
can
month
come out with
actually.
Superior Spider-Man for 2 weeks, but they can't come out with a Peter Parker comic book in a month.
Tell me about it.
That's wild.
But this was a really good read. It's the best read of the week for me. I really enjoyed it, but I really hate that guidance counselor. But I'm loving the story arc. I think it's great. It's a nice little, hey, this happened in the past. Something for you guys to munch on from the past while the present stuff is still going on. So I like it. I love the Alex Ross covers. And that's really it for this week. Again, really, guys, there's nothing that's jumped out, like, amazing to me. This was really
Deadly
a
Hands
very...
of Kung Fu was my pick of the week.
Deadly Hands of Kung Fu was really good for you. But for me, it was really just an average, at best, week. I mean, with Amazing Spider-Man Learning to Crawl being the only one that kind of reached a 4 out of 5 star status, everything else was just an average read. This was a very average week in general between DC and Marvel. Haven't read the indies yet to tell you guys the truth about the indie books. But for right now, the big two were very average at best. Like I said, Amazing Spider-Man is the only one that kind of was above average, in my opinion.
Yes.
Other than that, that's it for this week, guys. Don't forget to check out Comic Related, Comic Frontline, and Zone4Podcast.com. Together, we are your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more.
And if you want to find out more coverage about the special edition New York City Comic Con, you can go to our group channel, Comic Frontline.
And on there, we have a huge playlist filled with stuff that I did, that Mike did, that Cindy did, that Kat did. Everybody had a little hand that was in New York at the time.
Yes, you can go check them out there.
New York Comic Con. Yeah. A lot of fun. I can't wait for October. And I can't wait for the books next week. I'm getting next week's books basically tomorrow. Sorry for the late reviews again, guys. But until next time, keep reading, keep collecting, and we will see you guys in the next review. Take care, everybody.
Later, guys.